Hi there. I just realized I forgot to check my mic, so I'm double checking my sound settings right now, but everything looks like it's doing okay. So, again, hi there. Welcome back to my kitchen for the second time in one day. um, Thank you to everybody who showed up this morning when we made hamburger gravy in cast iron, and I commented. Yeah, we served that over rice, and one person asked if we could go live for when we use the rice to make fried rice. So here we are. Yeah. Um, that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. And that's why what you can see in front of you is the modern day Lodge cast iron wok, 14-inch beast that is definitely made in America, in that this is just about as opposite from the traditional Chinese wok as you can get. It's thick, it's heavy. I definitely can't pick it up, and I cannot toss the food around. This thing is stationary, which means that all of the food tossing is going to have to be done with my trusty Chan, a wok shovel here. On the other hand, of course, a thick cast iron wok absorbs heat really well. And so, yes, hello, Janet Batista. Twice in one day. Yes, someone asked to go live for making fried rice, and that's what we're doing here. Again, I'm not asking everybody to drop what they're doing just to show up here, because I understand, it's getting close to supper time on a Saturday night, and I'm sure folks have better things to do than watch me play around with cast iron. But you could always watch the recorded video once this is all finished. I don't mind. Um, I'm just really here to cook supper and have fun, and do some more cast iron geekery with the Lodge cast iron wok. This thing's definitely hot enough, so one thing I do need to do, I can do it right about here, is crack a couple of eggs. And yeah, go ahead and make your egg jokes about, how, oh, did I just do what God damn it, I just actually cracked the egg in the sink. Okay, so we're going to have one egg instead of two. So, yeah, as I was saying, go ahead and crack your egg jokes here about how this is going to, yeah, right there. That means this thing is going to cost $1,000. So, but well, so be it. Can't believe I did that. I must be going senile or something. Anyway, all I need, we with a good Chinese style stir fry, we start with our oil and scramble up the eggs. I don't need a lot of oil, especially for one egg. So just get that around a little bit, and chop up and quickly scramble up this egg. You know what? Heck with it. Hold on. I have one egg left. I might as well use that one. There we go. Shit. Yeah, I'm just thinking of how smart I was for doing that. Oh well, things happen. And they never show those things in the professionally edited videos, do they? No, of course not. So, yeah, that's the fun thing about being live. You get to see things like this happen here. All right, there we go. So we have two eggs. And now I'm out of eggs, and we'll have to get some more. That's life. Anyway, all we really have to do is just scramble them up. And actually, making scrambled eggs in a wok is a lot of fun and amazingly fast, too. If you've never done scrambled eggs in a wok, I do recommend it, because let me show you how fast it goes. Hey, that fast. It really only takes a few seconds to scramble eggs in a wok. Granted, yes, you do actually have to mix the oil in with the eggs, so it's not quite the same as doing it in butter, but look at that. That's how quickly you get scrambled eggs. And I'll put this in my bowl here. Oh, come on. These eggs are precious. Don't spill them. Okay. And one little piece. Anyway, that's step number 1. Now for step number 2, which requires a wee bit more oil. There we go. Let's cover this so that I don't spill it. And let's go on to step number 2. Let the chaos begin. Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, anybody who's been to my channel knows that things like this happen all the time. Because you know how I'd say, I'm not a professional chef. Well, I get to demonstrate that to you time and time again as I do things that you never see a professional chef do. But as I said, that's also because they edit them out of their videos. So, yeah, go ahead and crack your egg jokes, right? So far, hello, LT's cat. You're the one who asked me to do fried rice here on YouTube Live, and that's what we are about to do. So let's get started here and very quickly do our aromatics, which is, of course, some ginger and garlic. And this is not going to take long because, again, it's quite hot. The Lodge cast iron wok, again, does a great job with stir fries because it gets everything good and hot. Again, the real secret to stir frying is just that. You've got to do this fast because you've got to get your pan really, really hot. I mean, we're talking like at least hot enough to sear a steak. And now that we've done that, also throw in some onion. Oh, I love the smell of frying not garlic. Well, I do like garlic, but I really love the smell of frying ginger, especially when you chop it up fresh. Oh, yeah. And this only takes a few seconds because, of course, we don't want to burn it, which means we're already at the point to add in our rice. You know, this rice that's been sitting in the refrigerator since this morning. Yeah, because as they say, this is supposed to be the best way to make fried rice. You use used rice. You cook it in advance, chill it out, and that gives it a completely different consistency. So, and the best part is the rice is already cooked, so all we really have to do is get it good and hot, which again is another reason for having a cast iron wok. Getting it nice and hot here. Now, I know in a Chinese restaurant, they can do this in like about 1 or 2 minutes. But even with the Lodge wok and even on this gas stove here, which have I said before that I really like this gas stove? Even on this gas stove here, you just cannot get the temperature that you get in a Chinese restaurant because, they use these massive propane burners on their stoves for their woks. We're talking like jet engines practically to get their woks hot. So that's why they can do what I'm doing right now in the space of about 1 minute. Even so, this really should not take very long. Yeah. Oh. And I'm using a metal wok spatula, yes, but I understand the way with the quality of my mic here. And I'm already thinking of looking to upgrade this wireless mic. I mean, this wireless mic's really convenient, but I feel I should go for one that has some somewhat better sound quality. But nonetheless, I don't think this will freak out too many people. Using a metal utensil, by the way, in cast iron, which I do every time almost I use this Lodge wok. I've had this wok for 12 years because I got it in January of 2011, and I know I've told that story before, that this wok here was the very first piece of cast iron I actually bought myself. It was shortly after I caught the cast iron bug, And in January of 2011, I really had the urge to look into getting a cast iron wok for stir frying. Ended up using an Amazon gift certificate that I had received for Christmas, and I got this wok, which, as I said, I've been using almost, at least weekly for the past 12 years now. And in fact, I've managed to warp this wok. Anybody who knows the large cast iron wok, you know how thick it is on the bottom here? We're talking probably like with the base and everything, we may be talking at least half an inch thick on the bottom. And yet, nonetheless, over time, I still managed to warp it because I started out making the same mistakes that a number of people make when they first start cooking in cast iron. I had my heat up way, way too high, especially since I was using an electric stove burner. As a result, it took some time, but yes, this wok does not sit flat. It wobbles. However, I actually think that kind of is something of an advantage in this particular case because, one of the reasons why they don't like warped cast iron, besides the fact that it doesn't sit flat, is the warped area in the center creates hot spots that could burn your food if you don't prepare for it. Well, the center of a wok is supposed to be the sweet spot anyway, the part that gets hot. So I think being warped is not as big a deal for this as it might be for other cast iron pieces because of the way a wok is designed. Nonetheless, this is not going to take long at all. We're already at the worst part here. All I have to do is make sure this rice is good and hot, and then I throw in a couple of sauces and the mushrooms, and we are done here. Those huge flames under the wok freak me out. Yes, exactly. Whenever I go for Chinese takeout, I like standing right there at the counter so that I can look in the kitchen and watch as they cook. And nobody's complained yet. It must happen all the time. So, but what can I say? I'm that much of a nerd. I find it interesting. Anyway, I only used like a couple of tablespoons of oil preparing all this, and that was about all that was needed. Also, regrettably, I do not have scallions or green onions, which I found out. And since I was not about to go out today to get some, I just had to live with some regular chopped onion, as well as this ginger and garlic here. And of course, I'm going to throw the eggs back in as well. All right. So far, so good. And yes, I keep expecting their arms to go up in flames. Oh yeah, you're talking about those huge stoves that they use in Chinese restaurants. I know. It's amazing how they do it, especially the real pros, the ones who actually can set the wok on fire and while they still flip their food. So yeah, that's quite an impressive show. Almost makes me want to get a job at a Chinese restaurant. But I would think you would need experience first, which comes, of course, to the question how to get a job without experience and how to get experience without a job. Now, that's the eternal question. Anyway, so as I said, I did not have, unfortunately, green onions. I also do not have the usual peas and carrots. So this is just pretty much a basic fried rice. And this, again, is why we use pre-cooked rice. It's got a nice consistency to it. So it's looking pretty good. Also, the rice is definitely a little dried out because we don't see a lot of steam coming from it. It's starting to get warm. So we're getting close here. In fact, if I wanted to heat it up, I suppose I could even pop a cover on this for a couple of minutes. Maybe I'll do that. All right. Because I want to heat it up. Oh, yeah. Buy a Chinese cookbook. Well, in fact, one of the first books I bought was a Chinese cookbook. And this one especially was about wok stir frying. It was a book called what's it called? The Breath of the Wok, which has a lot to do about Chinese stir frying in search of that mystical quality that they call wok hay. And I certainly do my best to try to achieve that when I do stir fries in a wok, definitely. So, and hello as well, War in Ukraine, and RT Scott and Rick Stumbow. Like I said, it's Saturday night. I'm not asking you to drop everything to do this. Is that a Mama Fung lid? I don't know the name of it. All I know is that I bought it online at an online shop called The Wok Shop, which when I bought this, again, God, at least 12 years ago, at that time, the wok shop was like the number one place to go online if you wanted to buy wok equipment, woks, lids, wok utensils, and so on. So I'm hoping they're still in business. I should really take a look. I guess you could call it that just because it's a flat top here and not just simply rounded. But yeah, I've enjoyed this lid. And this, by the way, is the traditional way of getting a lid for a wok. You don't want a lid that sits on around the edge of the wok. You want a lid that sits a little bit on the inside like this, because I gather it creates a better seal and holds in the heat. Yeah, as I mentioned as well, this is again done in the American style because we've got ourselves a large cast iron wok here, which, like I said, I cannot flip that. Rather, that's why I'm using this to do all of the turning and stirring here and banging. Still, this is doing pretty good at this point. And already, this is not going to take very long. I mean, I realize it's been almost 20 minutes, but I'm thinking it's probably not going to take much longer than that. Because now that we've heated this up, let's do two things. Throw in a wee bit of sesame oil, not much. And stir that around. And then after that, we do the traditional soy sauce. Let me turn all of this around here. And I like using this stuff with a label that I can't even read, although it says mushroom soy sauce. I like this stuff. I get it at Chinese markets when I can. It's cheap. You get a ton of it, and it's got a pretty intense flavor. So there we go. Now that we've done that and spread it out, let's throw the egg back in. And finally, one more ingredient because I like it. Mushrooms. Lots of mushrooms because I love mushrooms. So there we go. It's kind of like a mushroom fried rice. And once these mushrooms are done, we're done and it'll be time to eat. That did not take long at all, and I like that. It makes the best popcorn. Yes, it does. That was one of the first things I made in this wok, in fact, was making wok fried popcorn. You don't even have to shake the wok. Also, if you look at recipes on the internet for fried rice, there are a lot of recipes for making fried rice in the traditional style, which I'm trying to do here. You know, using sesame and soy oil and frying your aromatics first. And yet there are a lot of recipes that don't do it that way. Of course, it's really a matter of taste more than anything else. And I noticed this rice has something more of a darker color than you might typically see from a Chinese restaurant, and that's more likely because I use that dark soy sauce. If I use the typical Kikkoman stuff, it would probably have more of that brown color you might expect to see with traditional fried rice. But that's another reason why I like using this stuff. And also, I know I've said this before, I will gladly repeat this part. If you have a wok, you absolutely must get a wok shovel, a chuan, Chuan. Yeah, that's how you spell it. This thing is wonderful. It's shaped to fit into a wok. Does a great job. Feels great in your hand when stir frying. Much better than using a spatula in this kind of this kind of a utensil here. So it also makes a good spatula, yes, but if you're gonna fry in a wok, use a wok shovel. That's one of those things I probably cannot recommend highly enough. And it looks like we are getting close to done here. Hi guys, Bob S. I'm doing a roast chicken right now. The oven at 325. Should it be higher? I would personally recommend doing it at 375. If you want to, 325 will work. You would have to roast it longer. Also, you may not get as good of a crisp skin. Of course, you could wait until you reach like a high temperature of maybe 140 degrees or so, and then you can turn up the heat and blast it for the last few minutes so that you will get a crisp skin. There are many ways to roast a chicken. Looks great. Yeah, I made my own lid out of a water dish with a wood handle. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, after all, they've been using woks for a good couple thousand years there in China. So while there's a lot of tradition behind it, it also means there's a lot of variety. And you use what you have available. Peas and carrots. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. As I said, I find I'm out of greens, unfortunately. I don't have beans, sprouts, peas, and carrots, and scallions at this time. In fact, if I was to do a proper video, I would get those things in advance. And maybe I should too, just not tonight. Tonight is more of a quick and dirty stir fry using the fried rice that I made this morning when it was 6 degrees below zero. Oh, incidentally, the temperature has shot up almost 25 degrees. It's now 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, better than -6 in that there's a lot less chance of frostbite if I were to go out. But I'd have to say we're probably just about done at this point. Yeah, increase the heat and just started it. All right, well, keep an eye on the temperature. Use a cooking thermometer. I strongly recommend it. If you don't have an oven thermometer, check the temperature after, oh, I don't know, an hour, and then keep checking it until it reaches the right temperature. I have long ago converted to cooking meat by temperature rather than by time because your oven is not the same as Gordon Ramsay's oven. I can almost guarantee that. Not the same as my oven, not the same as anybody's oven. So if you want to be absolutely sure that that chicken is done, keep taking its temperature. Meanwhile, this rice is done. Just turned off the heat. And same bowl that I use the eggs with, but nothing wrong with that. This was the scrambled eggs already. And it's as easy as that. There we go. Besides, I don't need meat now because I do still have the rest of that hamburger gravy to go to. So I definitely have meat. But here is our fried rice, which did not take long at all. It says here 25 minutes, and frankly, it probably would have taken maybe 15 minutes if I hadn't gone live. Oh yeah, Rick Stumbout, 67 degrees. Well, thank you very much. Okay, but nonetheless, that's what we have here. It's so easy, and that's one reason why fried rice is so popular, why stir fries are so popular. Of course, stir fries require a lot of prep work. You've got to do all this chopping in advance. You really can't do it while the food is cooking because it takes so fast. And as I said, this still did not take long, even though I don't you have the rocket engines that they have at Chinese restaurants. So it's definitely the type of thing you could make on a work night for the kids. And having said that, there we go. Yeah, a few cloves of whole garlic. Yeah, oh yes, definitely. And especially fresh ginger. That certainly helps. Oh, I see you're using it in the oven with the chicken. Well, that would also be good. But I think we're about set here because I did what I set out to do. Um, you'd asked for a live video of cooking fried rice, and I hope this meets your expectations. It's fast, it's easy, and I've no doubt at all it's going to be delicious. In fact, let me test it and make sure it's delicious. It's hot. Oh, yeah. I can taste the ginger in that. I'll just add some white pepper, and we are done. So I won't keep you waiting, folks, because it's Saturday night. I'm sure we all have things to do tonight, even if it's just relaxing or going out. So, but thank you very much for showing up once again, everybody. I mean, as I said, all right, that's what really makes these live videos a lot of fun. I should really keep doing these type of things. So thank you, everybody. And now to have some supper and then clean up my mess. And we will enjoy ourselves. You enjoy yourselves, folks. Keep warm and keep safe. All right. Yeah, thank you very much, RT Scott. Catch you all folks later, and have a good evening.